What's going on, my dudes, my dudettes? Zuri back for another video. Today we are talking about how to increase your value in society and in your network and in your family and in every area of your life. How can you become a more valuable person? And this is a fun one for me to chat about because I used to have I feel like very little value growing up as a kid. And I just recently recorded a video on like self-worth and self-image and attractiveness and stuff, and all the stuff that's psychologically like tied in with that. And I really didn't think that I had much to offer. And I don't know if you can relate to this, but like going into social settings and going into work settings, going into literally any setting, and feeling like you are not enough as you are. And what a horrible feeling, and what a horrible thought to be thinking. Not judging it, but just being like, what the heck, man? Why the hell am I thinking this way about myself? Like, think about it. You only have one life. You have one life, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. You believe in reincarnation? Maybe you get a couple at-bats, but the chances of you coming back as a human and not like a frog or triceratops, the dinosaurs come back, time's a construct anyways. Maybe we go back in time then. But you know what I'm saying. You have one life. You got to figure this out. You have to figure this out right here, right now. So, luckily, you have Zuri, and we're going to chat about this today. And we're going to get you straight on the right path so that you can live your best life and show up empowered in your day-to-day. So let's get into it. So we know that I didn't always feel this way. And well, what did it take to get here? A lot of work. A lot of work. But looking back, it's so much fun. Learning about this stuff is so much fun. And I'm glad you're here on this journey with me. And I have to shout out dozens and hundreds of people, motivational speakers, all these influencers, whatever. I'd have to make an hour-long video just to think of all the people that consume their content to learn their mindset, their beliefs, and how they're able to show up in the world and get the things that they want and stuff like that. But I digress. How do you, viewer, increase your value? Well, it starts by, it's going to sound generic, mindset. How do you see yourself? Why would other people value you if you don't value yourself? And that's something that was a big one for me to learn, is how can I get people to take me serious if I don't take myself serious? And I take myself very serious today, but I also have a very fun time doing it. And I had this habit for 4 years or 3 years. I was so focused on personal development. I really obsessed over it. Oh, and I hope my little tripod doesn't get blown over in the wind here. I hope you guys can hear me okay on the audio scale. We'll figure this out later. But how do I get other people to take you serious? How do you get people to take you serious? How did I get people to take me serious? By taking yourself serious. I used to be a lot of self-deprecating humor, and now today when I use self-deprecating humor, it's coming from a place of confidence, and back then it was coming from a place of insecurity. A lot of your favorite comedians and stuff, when they talk about self-deprecating humor, it's actually coming from a really grounded place, and they're able to laugh at themselves and not take themselves too serious, but they take their craft so serious that it provides a lot of value to a lot of people. That's why I love comedy. And sometimes you can actually tell the difference energetically when somebody actually doesn't, they don't mean it, and the self-deprecation is actually an internal lens. But yeah, we'll get into that later. So back to you, is you need to start increasing the value and the way you see yourself. So one, that's taking care of yourself, eating good foods, that's going to the gym, that's brushing your hair. This is such a funny one, man. It's like, get a good haircut, man. Like, my hair's not perfect. I'm wearing the hat today, but go get a haircut. I used to hate my hair. I love my hair now. Some people don't have hair. I might not have hair in the future. I'm not putting that out of the universe, but some people don't have hair, right? That's a little advantage that you can just go take care of yourself. Change the way you see yourself. Talk to a stylist. DM an influencer, not freaking Justin Timberlake, somebody with like 10,000 followers that, they post pictures of themselves all the time. Be like, hey, how can I increase my style? Look at my page. Shoot them $50, shoot them $20. Ask them for advice on that. See what happens then. The other thing is like, learn. Be a consistent learner. If you start learning new stuff, it doesn't matter what it is. You could be an expert on freaking water pipes, plumbing, and if that's what you really know a lot about and you're inspired to talk about that, you have an instant thing to talk about with a woman. Hey, did you know an 18-inch diameter pipe is actually the blah, 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 blah? It's like, you just shared something with her that this girl had no idea prior. And it might be a little bit corny or whatever, but if you show up passionate with what you're learning and what you're talking about, and you're teaching other people, you instantly increase your value. You have something to offer. right? Speaking of vocation and work, get a job you like, man. Get a job you like, girl. Like, we spend how much of our time sleeping? You know, I don't get 8 hours all the time. I try to, but 8 hours sleeping. So that's like 1/3 of our day gone. That's 1/3 of our life sleeping. The other third is what? Work. Get a job you like, man. If you get a job you like, you instantly have something to talk about with other people, whether it's right on the street. Hey, what do you do? Or whatever. And get a job you like. Find something that's interesting to you that you actually want to invest time and energy into. And what that's going to do is it's going to shift a lot for you. And you don't have to love it. It doesn't have to be your dream job, but it has to be a vehicle that you're using to get to your dream job, right? What I'm doing today, I enjoy it. You know, I spend, 8 to 10 hours a day working a lot of time on it. But, sometimes it sucks. I don't like to do a lot of the boring, mundane stuff, but that boring, mundane stuff is going to get you to where you want to be. But when I was working at McDonald's for 2 years in high school, man, I hated it. Put in the least amount of effort. I was really good at making people McFlurries. I always made the biggest ice cream cones possible. It was like a freaking monster on there, hooking people up. But you know what I mean? Like, it really takes just go find something you're interested in and just follow that. And you can always quit, right? Give it 3 months, give it 90 days. If you're not clicking at all, you hate it, find something else. But don't quit after the first couple weeks. Like, actually give it a fair shot if it's something that you said you're interested in. So we got taking care of yourself, taking care of your mind, start learning about stuff, and like read a book, man. Like, I don't even read books these days. I just listen to them. But it's so easy on Audible. Whether you're driving to work, whether you're driving to the gym, whether you're walking around the block, just put headphones in and read a freaking book, man. Like, find something that you had no idea you were interested in. Maybe some sort of personal development, something, to like. So like, if you go on a date with someone, if you're in a networking event, if you're at work, you didn't just watch. You're not talking about the latest Game of Thrones episode, the latest, Community, whatever. Community's good. I've been watching that again lately. But you're not, you have something to offer. You have something to talk about that's not freaking the news. You have something to talk about that's not the weather. No, I hate talking about, I haven't talked about the weather other than my Spanish classes. Oh, how was the weather today? In like, I don't know, months. I have way more interesting conversations. I actually I forget how awesome the conversations I have are because they're just normal. It's like very easy for me to communicate, so I spend so much time learning about random stuff. And here's another thing. Find a mentor. Find somebody who knows a lot more than you on a particular subject and get them to like tell you about it. Get them to learn from it. I try, when I'm talking to people, I don't have to be the center of attention. In fact, people like it more when you're not the center of attention, because who's the main character of their movie? Them. You can ask questions and learn what they do and actually be a little bit interested. One, you'll learn something to bring to your next conversation. And then two, they're gonna like you. You're instantly, because you're asking intelligent questions, you're getting to understand them, their thought process, what they spend most of their waking hours doing. All of a sudden, they're a lot more interested in you. It's like here's another thing. Read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read that book. It's like one of the first personal development books they tell you to read. And it's actually really good. There's a lot of good stories in there of how you can just show up and be a more interesting person. How to have people like you. Really interesting book, actually. Definitely, if you haven't read that one, I encourage you to. It's like an oldie, it's a classic, Dale Carnegie. Read that book if you are struggling with this stuff. You'll instantly have you have a lot to talk about just from reading that book, and then you'll see social situations a little bit differently. And you'll make friends out of it, for sure. Be a constant learner. Have something and even if you're passionate about Minecraft and stuff and you spend most of your time playing video games, that's cool. I played a lot of video games back in the day. But think about it. A lot of people, if they don't play that video game, they're not going to be that interested in it. So find stuff that's actually of value to other people, like a generic thing. Like that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. You have a bunch of stories that you can refer back to and be like, oh yeah, that's actually reminded me of this one thing of this book I'm reading. Boom. You tell people you're reading a book, it's like, oh crap, this guy's bettering himself. He has something to talk about, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, read a book. Pick up a freaking book, man. And then lastly, like, do whatever it takes. If you have to stand in front of the mirror and say, I'm awesome, I'm intelligent, I have a lot to bring to the table, I've probably done that 100,000 times. 100,000 times with different affirmations, waking up in the morning and actually saying these things. Because what you're doing, it's silly, right? If getting in front of the mirror and doing that stuff, I don't do it as much anymore. but I had to. When I didn't feel like I was the man, and when I didn't feel like I had confidence, when I didn't feel like I was successful, and I didn't feel people liked me, I had to go in front and tell myself that. And when I told myself that, I was really telling the world that, because I'm declaring it. So get in the mirror and say, I am enough. I am worthy. I am successful. I am a sexy beast. Whatever it is, I am interesting. People are interested in me. Start declaring that, because what you're doing is you're rewiring unconscious, subconscious beliefs of years and years and years of you not feeling that type of way. It's not going to happen overnight. It took years for me, years. And it'll probably take years for you, not going to lie. But as your value starts to increase, it gets up a lot more. When it's bad, it's bad. When it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. But then you start going up and you get a little bit of these good habits, and then all of a sudden your value starts increasing, and then boom, all of a sudden you're the man or you are the woman, and you're living your best life, and you're having interesting conversations, and you're traveling the world, and you're building your dream business, and you're actually living a life that's yours, and you're escaping the BS of society that is just so prevalent, man. It's just so prevalent. So don't be a sucker. Don't be a sheep. You know, be the hero in your own movie. Wherever you are in life, whether you're already crushing it, whether you're at the beginning of your journey or in the middle of it, just know, like, stuff gets a lot better, man. It gets a lot better. And if you had told me 5 years ago, 10 years ago, the life I'd be living today, I wouldn't have believed you. I mean, it just wouldn't even feel real. You know, me traveling the world, meeting some of the coolest people I've ever met, talking about cryptocurrency on the daily, you know, and just like living a life of like complete freedom. It's like none of that would even sound real, like not even 10% of it. But I always wanted more, and I always said, hey, if there's a chance, I'm gonna go for it. And you have to give yourself that chance. So with that being said, hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something from it. If anything resonated, let me know in the comments. I'm reading these things. I'd like to build a community with you guys. And at this point, we'll see you in the next one.